Greetings, good part of the day, my dear digital friends. Okay, I got notifications about my unexpected live stream. I haven't announced much, but I've decided to just go live because I did have time. I do have time right now. So, good part of the day, Anna Dieter is here. I am happy to do this live stream because I do have a lot to share with you. And as usually, I am here to answer any questions of those who still struggle with self expression, with oral self expression, with those of you who still believe that you have some kind of a sickness, misunderstood sickness called stuttering, stammering, cluttering, or whatever else they call it. Because I have the information that will bring you a lot of freedom, that will simply liberate your life, liberate your speech, and understanding of the information I'm sharing here will make you live stutter-free. Yes, it is possible to never stutter again in your life after you have learned what naturally normal speaking is, what are the, I call it natural standards, natural speech standards, natural speech norms. The moment you understand what they are and begin to follow them, just like every normal, adequate human being on the planet, you become just like everyone else. You don't stutter anymore. You don't worry anymore about your speaking because you understand what it is. And I am here today to simply explain to you that speaking is just like walking, natural to each and every human, natural. But is a child, a baby, born walking? Of course not. We all learn to move our legs to learn to become able to walk just like everyone else on the planet, right? This is exactly what you need to understand, that your tongue, hi Almoni 123K, hi, thank you for saying hi. And you also wrote help me. We'll talk about it right away after I do just small presentation. Stay with me, and if you have any questions, just type them in. So I am doing as usually, I am going live on several platforms today. So right now I am live on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on Instagram. For Instagram, I'm using my phone, and all the other platforms, I am doing it through the microphone. This is why the quality of the sound, just want you to know, the quality of the sound is much better if you watch me on YouTube, on Facebook, or LinkedIn, because I am speaking through the microphone. And the quality of the audio on Instagram is much worse because I'm just doing it on my phone. Just, I wanted you to know it. Okay, so what is the topic for today's live broadcast, live stream? Very simple. The topic that I have prepared to go over is that, yes, people who stutter are just like everyone else. Every time they do something, they can choose what is it that they want to do. They can choose whether they want to do it excellently, perfectly, or they want to do it kind of, I call it half-ass, make mistakes, and I don't care that I'm making mistakes. you know that people sometimes feel this way. Like, for example, that when you are texting on a phone and you make typos, sometimes you make mistakes, right? But sometimes, well, I don't care. People will understand me, right? But other people would go, what? I wish we didn't have this spell check. It just screwed up my writing, right? So, this is the main topic I want to go over today. I want you to understand that yes, you can choose each and every moment when you speak, you can choose whether you're going to speak well or you're going to stutter. You have the ability to make this choice when you know what it means to speak well. And this is what we're going to talk about. Let me see. I have a few people watching me here. So Almoni wrote, help me. Almoni, I am helping you right now. If you stay with me, if you ask questions, if you listen to the answers, if you didn't understand what I say, don't hesitate. Ask more questions. This is the best help you can get ever if you really want to live like all adequate human beings on the planet and never worry about whether this word is going to come out, whether you're going to be speaking well or you're going to be struggling with your speech. If you are this kind of person, if you are not a half-ass person, negligent person who doesn't care whether he or she is doing it right or wrong, then stay with me. Ask as many questions as you want. I'm going to be with you until you stop asking questions. This is how I work. Okay? So let's go. Almoni said hi. Hi, Almoni. So DS King waved to me. I want to talk to DS King and people like him because King wrote to me, DS King wrote to me that he doesn't understand English well, but he wants me to help him. Guys, wake up. Wake up. I want you to be a little bit smarter. In order for me to help you, you need to understand the language of the teacher. You need to understand my words. And if you don't understand the words that the teacher is saying, how can the teacher help you? It's impossible. This is why I truly recommend what I did recommend to DS King to download this free ebook. By the way, DS King, I got notification that you downloaded a different book, which is also good, of course. You downloaded this book, A Tale of Two Geniuses in Stuttering, which is also pretty good because after reading and understanding what the words are telling you, my words, you will clear your mind a lot. It will help you to finally begin changing your attitude, your faith, your belief. And by changing your attitude, by changing your mindset, you will change yourself. You will change your physical actions, your muscle action, just by changing your attitude towards so-called stuttering, which is a ghost. I keep talking about this, that stuttering is, it's a ghost. It doesn't exist in reality. It's an imagination. It's imagination. It's a fantasy of people. And by the way, if you read this book, you will understand what kind of people who invented this fantasy, who has come up with this crazy idea that stuttering is the sickness of speech, that speaking could ever become ill. It's just crazy. It's the same if I said, you know what? You cannot walk because you have a sickness of walking. Sickness of walking. When the baby is born, just a newborn baby, can the baby walk? Just ask yourself, when you were born, were you able to walk? Answer me. Write to me. I want communication, guys. Answer me. Of course not. When the baby is born, the baby cannot walk. And when the baby looks at other people around walking, his mommy, his daddy, his siblings, guess what the baby begins to do? Why, I also want to walk, right? That's kind of his thinking. He can't think like this exactly because he doesn't know words yet. But he immediately begins imitating. Do you understand what I mean? Imitating, mimicking whatever his parents or siblings are doing. He's mimicking just like a parrot. There is a reason I have a nice picture of a parrot on my wall, because I always refer to this parrot, to this bird. Birds don't know how to speak, what to do. They just mimic the words they hear, humans' words. So the bottom line, if you want to change your attitude and realize that stuttering doesn't exist, it's a ghost. Someone created it, someone invented it. Then go ahead and download, for example, this book. And if you are just like D.S. King, do not understand English language when you hear it, then read the book and put it in a Google Translate. Translate the book into your language and understand what this book is saying. You will learn who invented stuttering, why, how, and when. It's all in my book. So D.S. King, if you downloaded this book, it's great. It's very thin. There are a lot of pictures in the book. See, mostly pictures. Okay, not too much of a text, not too many words. It's going to be easier for you to read and understand if English is not your first language. Number one. But I did recommend you D.S. King, who speaks English as a second language, to download this book, One Lonely Climb to Success. This book is also free. Free. You don't need to pay a penny. Even on Amazon, I had to put some money because Amazon wouldn't allow me to give it to you for free. Okay? So I recommend download this book, D.S. King. Why? Because this gentleman, his name is Hussein. He was just like you. He didn't speak English. But he went through learning English, boosting his English language. It took him only 2 years. 2 years to learn English. And then of course, he had to also get a job and earn a lot of money to join the class with me. And he did it. And guess what? It took him 6 months to earn the money, but 2 years to boost his English, to learn his English. It depends how well your English is, I mean, how good it is. Because some people know it better, some less. He didn't speak English at all. He didn't speak English. He lives in Finland, in Europe, in Helsinki, and he spoke only two languages, Arabic and Finnish. So, in order to get rid of stuttering, fix his speech, fix his attitude towards speaking, he chose to do additional work. He learned to speak English. D as King, you can do it. If Hussein did it, you can do it too. Of course, I do work with interpreters. Yes, I can. I have worked with interpreters, and my students would pay for the class and they would also pay for the interpreter. It's like more money. Of course, if you have parents who are willing to invest in you, you can do that. But I'm telling you straight away, it's not easy to work through the interpreter. Because I remember one time I worked with twins, two ladies. First, I worked with one, then with another one, and they live in, I know you, they spoke Arabic. Forgot what country they lived, I'm not gonna lie. So it wasn't Saudi Arabia, it was something, Kuwait, that's where they live. And they brought an interpreter, and interpreter himself was a horrible speaker. He was almost like a stutterer. So that was so tough. I had to educate interpreter. Then I wanted to make sure that what he translates was right. So the bottom line, I truly recommend you guys, you learn English language. It's international language. If you want a better job, guess what? You better learn English language. Because if you do speak English language, you can get a chance to get a better job, a better paying job. Okay? So let me see. Good evening, man. Diaz King said, good evening. Yes. Okay. So Zulfa, I don't know, Zulfahar? I don't know. Okay, what is the meaning of your name? The meaning of my name? If I don't know which name you are talking about, but if Naraya, if you talk about the name Anna, their translation from Greek language is beautiful, smart, and rich. Okay, forgot that. And literally blessing from the skies. That's the meaning of the name Anna is. I mean, I love my name. But I also have my last name, the name Dieter. And the name Dieter, you can clearly, if you speak English language, you can clearly hear the word deed, Dieter, Dieter. The word deed means the action, action. And it's the action for other people. It's helping other people. Okay, this is the meaning of my name. Okay, and I am absolutely sure that names don't happen, just happen, okay, by accident. We get our names for a reason. And we go through our life according to our name. Our name is a program for action. Like, for example, I had a student and his name was Angel. I'm like, you cannot be a stutterer if your name is Angel. God has given you the name Angel. You gotta be an angel for someone. Maybe if you fix your speech and you become a role model for other people who stutter, then you're gonna play a role of an angel. Angel. See, I heard that I made a mistake and I fixed it. Okay. So, Narayan, I don't know what your name means. If you write to me, that would be very interesting for me. Okay, I have a lot of people waving to me on Instagram. Hi, guys. Thank you for waving. Hamza, Watson, thank you so much for waving. Okay. So let's continue. Let's continue our live presentation. And once again, the topic of today's presentation is I want you to choose to stutter or to speak. Every time you speak, I want you to understand that you can choose. Okay? So let me share one of my, here is my image that I uploaded to Instagram, to Facebook, and to other platforms that I work on, okay, that I go on and make myself available. I make the message to people who stutter available, that I am helping people who stutter, okay? So here we go. The message is saying, choose your speech action, whether you want to speak or to stutter. This is extremely, extremely important to understand. This is what all normal people on the planet are doing. We all are capable of doing this. We can choose to speak beautifully, or we can choose to stutter. The interesting thing about it, that adequately speaking people don't even realize that. Just like walking. When you are walking, you can always choose to walk well or to run and or to walk and watch birds or check your emails, right? Check your messages. And while you are walking in this way, you're not paying attention to the path you're walking on, and you can fall just like me. See, just recently I fell down and I just scraped my knees and my elbow. Ooh, that was so bad because I was not paying attention to the path, to the road I was walking on. And I, stumbled on the divider between they put divider on the road. I didn't notice it and I stumbled. Good thing there were no cars, but I just, boom, fell flat. Ooh. So this is what I am telling you, that just like in walking, we have a choice to walk well, safely, or to fall down. We always have a choice. Exactly in the same way, we always have a choice to walk in speech with our tongue or to fall with our tongue, to stumble with our tongue, to stutter. Okay, this is extremely important. I want you to understand that each person chooses what to do in their life, who to be, what actions to take, and what to refrain from, what not to have, what not to do. We all have this choice. Okay. Nareya wrote, wow, yeah. Nareya, let me read. My name meaning is based on the Hindi god Lord Vishnu, who is the operator of the universe. See? Naraya, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. You can't be a stutterer. You can't. You gotta get rid of stuttering as soon as possible. Look at the role God has given to you. You gotta be the operator in this universe. And this is exactly what we're talking about today, Naraya. You are the operator in the universe. You are, not anyone else. You operate your own universe. Do you understand this? You just gave me an amazing analogy. Amazing, Naraya. Congratulations. Good job. You have amazing name. Every human being operates their own universe. And you know what? I would say not even universe, it's multiverse. Multiverse. Because when we are active during the day, yes, we operate our own universe. That's why they say you. You means you, your verse. God, it makes me thinking about the word verse, because verse is what? Speaking. Speaking. It's a phrase, it's a sentence, it's just a piece of speech. That's what verse is. It's uh, they call verse a poetry, piece of poetry. It's just amazing, Naraya. So when we are active during the day, we operate our own universe. Okay? And verse means the word, the bottom line, the word. But when we are asleep and when we see different dreams, the body is still here, but our soul goes to operate in multiverse somewhere else. How do you think you see all these dreams? And you don't even realize whenever you, most of the time, when you are seeing the dreams, you don't know you're sleeping, right? You just believe that this is what's happening, right? This is it's a multiverse. It's another dimension where your soul is operating. Okay, your soul, your spirit, whatever you call it, your consciousness. Okay. So Naraya asked, do you believe in multiverse? No, I guess I just explained it to you. Of course, I believe in multiverse. I believe we are not the only ones on this planet. There are many, many dimensions. There are many, many different creatures on this planet. And not all of them are friendly. Okay? And we are awakening today. We can see that there are some creatures are operating our governments, our presidents, because the way they are operating their countries doesn't appear friendly to human beings. I don't want to go deep unless you want me to, but all the recent current events that have been happening for 2 or 3 years with all this COVID, schmovid, with all this craziness, with destroying crops, with changing the weather. It's all about someone doesn't like when there are too many human beings on the planet. Someone doesn't like it. Okay? Parallel universes, exactly. This is what, I meant when I said when you are asleep, you operate another dimension, your parallel universe. Yes, exactly. Okay, so Dan.Stone joined. Let me remind you that if you have any questions about basically anything, about life, because of the nature of work I do and because of the mentor I have, we all have mentors, and my mentor has given me so much information, so much wisdom. It's not just about speaking, it's about life. And if you ask me a question about life, guess what? I can also give you the answer that may resonate with you. Okay? I can't guarantee this is 100% accurate, but this is the way I see how the universe, the multiverse works. Okay, today. Naraya wrote, do you think you can be on any other planets? Of course. I've been on any other planets. I just don't remember it. Okay. And we remember it when we are asleep, when we are in all kinds of other dimensions, when people have clinical death, when people are in coma, when people lose their consciousness for like lengthy time, they go somewhere else to another planet. And by the way, it may not be another planet, it may be the same planet but different dimension. Okay, different parallel verse. I like the word verse, not universe. Okay, uni means unique one. Yes, I guess we can use universe. So, because I don't see any questions, no questions on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, I'm surprised. I usually have questions. I have likes there. Thank you very much. By the way, guys, give me likes. Don't forget. I never remember about reminding you. So let me continue. Bax Coolot join. Hi, Bax Coolot. Or Bax Coolot. I apologize if I don't read correctly your name. Okay, I recommend you guys type your questions, whatever questions you have about life in general, about health in general, about speaking, about stuttering, stammering, whatever you call it. Ask questions, because the stupidest question is the one that has never been answered. Please understand this. There are no stupid questions. Don't hesitate. Don't be afraid that your question may be not smart, that it could be dumb. So what? Ask it anyway. Because guess what? Other people who are listening to this live stream may have the same questions and they want to ask these questions. And by the way, I want to make an announcement here. If you still haven't joined my Telegram account, I recommend you join my Telegram group, because I am planning to do lives there as well. I'm going everywhere live because at the moment I don't have any students. I was on vacation for 3 months, okay? Wasn't working. It wasn't actually vacation. I wasn't feeling well. I was sick. But I am fine now, ready to continue the fight against stupidity in the world, against the creatures living in parallel universes on our planet and not really liking human beings, doing everything to destroy human beings' life the way we used to it. Okay? So Naraya wrote, what are the reasons of stammering? This is a great, great question, Naraya, and I have a very simple answer. Reason number one is that you don't have experience moving your tongue with accuracy and ease for producing words. Just like in walking, I keep using this analogy. When you were born, you couldn't walk. Because why? You were not sick, you had your legs, right? But you didn't walk, you couldn't walk, simply because you were just born. There was no memory in this body, in your legs, no muscle memory of how to move your legs. But as you started growing up, you started parroting other people around. You started doing like a parrot, mimicking the way humans move their legs. At first, you were not really doing it well. I'm sure the first thing you did when you got up and fell down, the first thing you did when you got on your feet, everyone was, ah, and you were boom, fell down, right? The distance between your rear bottom, your butt, and the floor was very, very small, so it didn't hurt you. So you fell down, but the next thing you did, you got up again and again and again until you have adjusted your leg muscles, your body muscles to move with the accuracy, with ease, without falling down. Okay? This is extremely important to understand. This is very, very important. So this is how you learned to walk. At first, your walking wasn't really good. Then it was better, better, and better. And as you were growing up, you even started running and jumping and dancing and learning how to move your legs for other actions, muscle actions of your body, right? The same is with the tongue. You were born with a tongue, but you had no idea how to speak when you were born. The moment you were born, you did only one. Ah! The tongue is on the bottom of your mouth, and you were crying, ah, ah, right? But then you listened and observed people around you, and you started parroting, imitating the same tongue actions that other people around were doing. If you were lucky, you were paired like parrot, you were imitating good speakers. You were imitating adequate speakers. But if you were born in the family of bad speakers, in the family of stutterers, in the family of people who don't have good skills of speaking, guess what you imitated? That's what you imitated. Okay? Or it may happen for any other reason. You were, for example, you were adjusting your tongue, you were speaking, imitating, but then at some point in your childhood, you were in the classroom, for example, I'm giving you an example, could be anything else. You were in the classroom, you were reading out loud in the classroom, you were only 6, 7 years old, and you stumbled with your speech leg, your tongue. You stumbled. And all of a sudden, kids laughed at you because it was funny. You made a mistake and the mistake was funny. Okay, you read the word incorrectly, everyone laughed. They didn't mean to be laughing at you, just it was funny. That's why they laughed. But you, a young child, made a really wrong the wrong conclusion. Oh, they are laughing at me. I'm not going to speak anymore. I'm not going to read out loud in the classroom. And some of kids even come to the teacher and ask, please don't ask me because I stutter, because I can't speak. And the teacher goes, okay, it's better for them not to ask you to read in the class. Less responsibility. One student doesn't want to learn to read. Okay, no problem. This usually happens at the later stage. Okay? And there are even parents that the child comes from home from school to home and says, Mommy, I cannot read out loud in the class. They're laughing at me. And mommy goes to school and says, please, teacher, don't ask my child. And guess who is she punishing? Her own child. So the bottom line, the reason for stammering, stuttering is very simple. At some point of your life, you stopped speaking much. You stopped training your tongue, your speech leg, to move adequately according to the so-called ringtones. ringtones. And if you're watching me on Instagram, you can see my latest post. I started talking about these ringtones. I have created a little picture story. I mean, it's so much information. I kind of do my best to make it simple, make it succinct, make it short. But go and read the story about what ringtones are, because this is the only solution for stuttering. There are no other tips, tricks, and solutions for stuttering, but finally discovering that all normal speakers on the planet speak according to the ringtones. Ringtones. And unfortunately, no one on this planet know what these ringtones are. I call them tongue ringtones. Tongue ringtones. You know what ringtones are? I'm sure you've heard this word. Ringtones, the tunes on the phone. We go tunes, right? Ringtones, tunes. We select for a ringer, whatever. When someone is calling you, you listen to this ringer. We call it a ringtone, right? This is exactly what we create. On this body-mind computer, we create ringtones. Ringtones! And we create them with our tongue. Tongue. The movement of the tongue. So the bottom line is that if you want, go and study. But I am planning to do the live stream about ringtones. Not today, because I've prepared a lot. Others. So Beds Coolet ask, what tips in stuttering on job interview? Job interview is you got to fix your speech. You got to learn, no matter where you are. Whenever we speak, whether we are alone, whether we are in front of a job interviewer, we gotta do exactly the same. We gotta create ringtones with our tongue. Ringtones. But this is the first time you even hear about that. What tips will help you? No tips. The only way to fix your speech once and for all and never ever worry about your speaking anywhere, anytime, is to learn how to move your tongue according to the ringtone technique. I don't like the word technique because it's a God's technique, because this is the way our tongue works. It's a law for our tongue. It's a law, creating ringtones, ringtone after ringtone after ringtone. One word usually is several movements of the tongue, several ringtones. One ringtone is one movement of the tongue. Because while moving our tongue, we naturally create not one sound, from two to up to 6 sounds sometimes, depending on the language. This is how our tongue works. Did you know that? No, you didn't. Because in school, they teach you to read according to the syllables, to speak according to single sounds. And this is what you do. You speak according to single sounds. In order to say the word, no, I don't know, for example, donut, you go d, 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 right? Because you attempt to produce a single sound, d. Our tongue doesn't work according to single sounds. When our tongue moves, it produces, unless it's vowel sounds, e, o, u, those are vowel sounds. Yeah, this is one sound. But our tongue, when it moves, it usually creates in one movement of the tongue, it creates from 2 up to 6 sounds. And until you have learned it, you have understood it, you have realized it, job interviews are going to be a big challenge for you. It's going to be very challenging because you will be doing what usually people who stutter are doing. I'm going to show to you what people who stutter do during the interview. You want to see it? Watch. For example, someone asked me what my name during the job interview. And look at the way I'm going to begin answering. I'm going to begin moving my eyes. I'm going to begin licking my lips. I'm going to begin moving my other body parts. I'm not going to be focused on moving my tongue to create one ringtone after another because I don't know what it is. Okay? And while you are doing all these movements of your body, licking lips, biting lips, moving your eyes, moving your eyebrows, moving your neck, moving all kinds of parts of your body that you learned to move when you went to speech therapists, to some other advisors. Maybe you have invented those movements of the body. While you are doing this, guess what? People are watching you. They can see that you are acting in a strange way, really strange way. Look at the way I talk to you. I have two places I look. I look at the camera of my Instagram and I look at the green camera of my computer. That's it. These are the two places I move my eyes to. Because when I speak, I don't need to move my eyes. I really don't. But this is part of the class. I teach people what to do when you speak. You need to learn to move only your tongue and how to move your tongue according to the ringtones. Hi, Adam. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining as well. Okay. So, back schoolot. Tips in stuttering on job interviews. Every tip you hear anywhere, it's a waste of time. Waste of time. The only tip I can give you, do your best to focus on the words that you want to present. That's it. You can't do anything better. Just whenever someone asks you, what's your name? Focus on your name, how it sounds, and say your name. Just be a parrot. Remember how it sounds and be a parrot. Repeat the way your name sounds. If they ask you questions, no, I don't know, I'm just coming up with a question. How many job interviews did you have before this one? For example, they could have asked you this question, right? During the interview. Don't focus on anything else. Just recall how many interviews you had and focus on this word and just go with your tongue the best you can. For example, if I had 3 interviews, I would say 3. Nothing else. Don't move your eyes. Don't move any parts of your body. Just recall the name and say it. Do your best. Because you still don't know how to do it. But guys, if you want to fix your speech, I am here. I am available. I teach online. This is the only place, the best solution for stuttering online because it works. Go and join my YouTube and see how many people from all over the world are talking about their success stories. Listen, go watch. And it's all up to you. You gotta make a choice. Make a choice, my dear. So I don't see any questions. This is why I'm gonna continue giving you, I'm going to finish my presentation. Otherwise, I'm not going to finish it. I'll forget. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to change. Okay, wave. I'm going to wave to IKGESM. Oh, by the way, I'm going to remind you, join my Telegram account. I have already like 20 people or something joined the group. They said that I can also create a WhatsApp group. I haven't done it that. Maybe I will do it. Okay. But understand that anything you learn in the group, of course, it's great. But the best solution is individual course, because you can fix your speech in almost no time. Okay, so let me switch to the view of my computer. Okay, this is my computer. Okay, this is what you can see when you are on YouTube. You'll see this. Okay, so as you can see, the image says choose your speech action to speak or to stutter. And you see little labels attached to these things. To speak means ESA, means etalon or standard speech action, or to stutter. Stutter means to make non-correct speech actions. So let me explain to you what all of this mean. Bear with me, stay with me, and you will learn an amazing information. Okay, so I'll just read what I wrote and I'm going to comment on what I wrote. To stutter or to speak beautifully, it's your choice. Each person chooses what to do in life, who to be, what actions to take, and what to refrain from, what not to do ever. Just like everyone else, those who stutter also have the right to choose their actions each and every moment. But unfortunately, they believe that they do not have such a choice, right? Am I right? You believe that you cannot speak, you can only stutter. This is what you believe. And people who stutter think that they are born defective. They are born special, with a special brain, with a special wiring of the brain, with a special breathing way, not like all other people. This is what you believe, guys. But this is not true. And this is very important to understand. This is not true. All people who stutter are ordinary people. But unfortunately, instead of doing ordinary Etalon speech actions, briefly we call it ESA. Etalon stands for standard, by the way. So unfortunately, instead of doing ordinary ESAs, people who stutter perform abnormal, non-ordinary speak actions. For brevity, I call it NSA. NSA, which is maybe a coincidence. NSA is National Stuttering Association as well, right? So not ordinary, not correct, not logical, not natural speech actions. Briefly, NSA. And what is stuttering? Stuttering is a set of not correct speech actions. As I said, not correct could be not natural, not adequate, not logical, not rational, not natural. I mean, I can go on and on. Okay. So people who stutter perform NSAs of a person. These actions block the freedom of their tongue movement. Literally, your tongue feels blocked because of the incorrect information in your mind and lack of the correct information of your mind. The easy way to explain, you believe in stuttering. You still believe that you are born different, that you are born special, that you are born a stutterer. That's what all people who come to me, they say, I started stuttering when I was a child. No, you didn't start stuttering when you were a child. You stopped speaking. This is why you continued to make mistakes in speaking just like a baby. Let me know, guys, if you understand me. You can write to me, give me likes or whatever, so I could see that you are listening to me and understanding me. Because I came up today without announcement, and I'm sure there are not too many people watching me. Okay, so what is it that you need to do to forget about stuttering and enjoy your naturally beautiful speech just like all adequate people? What do you need to do? You need to simply change non-correct speech actions to standard Etalon speech actions, correct speech actions. And it is very quick. It's as quick and easy as changing something old for something new. But to be able to make such a change and to make such a choice, you would need to study this Etalon speech, standard speech actions at our Etalon Speech Unblocking school, where you will be able to exchange your old NSAs for the new ESAs, natural ESAs. And guess what? Natural, correct speech actions, once you have learned them, you would have to do it for the rest of your life. You would actually enjoy doing them because this is the only way you can use your tongue to speak with ease, with accuracy and confidence. Whether you are alone, with friends, with family, or during your job interview, there is no difference. Okay? If you are still not familiar with the new ESAs, so Etalon speech actions are still new for you, then you'll simply not have anything to change your old NSAs for, and your beautiful ordinary speech will remain in your dreams only forever. You will never be able to change your life, to liberate your speech. I hope you understand that. So anyway, there were people watching me on Instagram and they disappeared, so that's fine with me. So let me go back to StreamYard and see, no, there are no. So let me remind to you, my dear friends. Okay, let me remind to you, my dear friends, that my name is Anna Dieter, and I am going live everywhere in social media today. So I am actually planning to go live around 7 p.m. Eastern time. So people that live in different time zones, like in United States of America, in Canada, sometimes even people from Africa join me. Okay, so they could also join me. I see that someone is watching me, but I don't see any questions yet. So because of that, I invite you to join me a little later today. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to me here. Yes, yes. Okay, I'm gonna move closer so the sound would be better. So if there are no questions, Coffee Finest, hey, I remember your name. Remind me where you're from. Are you from India? I don't remember. Are you? So the bottom line, I am planning to be live for maybe 5 more minutes and I'm going to wrap it up because I've been online. I don't see. Only if I go to YouTube, I probably will see how much time I've been on. I don't know. Am I on? Huh. Let me see if I'm even on YouTube. Yeah, I am. Okay, it's going on. Yeah, I am. Okay. Okay, I turned it off here. Okay. Okay. So no questions yet. That's good. Okay. Let me go back here. So let me again summarize. I'm here to let you know that my classes today are available at a much lower price because the school year has started in some countries, in some schools. And today you can fix your speech in almost no time for 50% less investment. 50%! It's never ever happened in my life. I'm doing it first time. Instead of investing a big chunk of money in your life, in your speech, you can invest 50% less. And this will allow you to achieve your success much quicker. You will have to work 50% less and earn the money 50% sooner. If you were considering taking the 1-day course, because it is 3 times smaller investment, I recommend you simply you choose to come to me, ask me about how much is the 3-day course today. I mean, if you have communicated with me, you probably know the real cost, the original cost. So consider, have it in mind, it's 50% less. 50%. The cost of the 1-day course is still the same because it's really low. But the cost of a 3-day course is 50% less. How much for the 1-day course? Guys, I don't talk about money for public because the videos are staying forever and the financial investment that we require changes. I always give discounts. I always have different have different needs for being able to continue my work. You need to understand that working with nobody is investing funds in my work. Nobody. Okay? Only my students, because they have a problem. They want to fix their speech. This is why they are the only ones who want to and ready to roll up their sleeves, get a job, and begin earning the money to liberate their life, to fix their speech finally, and forget about stuttering from 1 to 3 days. If you want to ask questions, you got to come to me personally and have a free one-on-one meeting with me. It's a Zoom call. And Coffee Finance, I don't recall we talked. I don't recall meeting you online. And I don't know what you're waiting for. You don't need to invest anything. Are you that lazy to even come to me and talk to me for free? Because people who stutter are a bit lazy. It's not the topic of today's conversation, but I know that people who stutter have been brainwashed to be lazy. They have grown up, and they are used to people doing a lot of things for them, especially in speaking. People who stutter have been brainwashed to grow up lazy. That's all I can tell you. So, but when I work with my students, my very important condition, you gotta work. You gotta make money. I don't like to even talk to those who don't work, unless you are a baby, of course. Unless you are a teenager, you're a child. Then bring your parents because your parents work. And it's their responsibility to invest in your life, in teaching you basic life skills. Speaking is a basic life skills. If your parents still haven't taught you how to speak without mistakes, without stuttering, it's their fault. It's their responsibility. But unfortunately, parents are not aware of that. They also believe the lie that has been invented over 100 years ago. I'll tell you exactly when the lie was invented. In 1889, that was the year when they invented stuttering. They invented it. And now the whole world believes that sickness, that stuttering, some kind of misunderstood, incurable sickness, and that you have to accept it, you have to live with stuttering, or you have to go for treatment, for cure forever. This is all not true. And and even if you go to speech therapists, they will tell you the same. Excuse me. Still coughing out. Why do you think people stutter are lazy? I just explained. People who stutter are lazy because they are not moving their tongue. At some point of their life, they stopped moving their tongue. They didn't complete their tongue training. And even today, they don't speak much. Most of them, the majority of them, hide from speaking. They don't speak. They, of course, there is another reason. They believe, because everything starts here, they believe that they are sick. And whenever they make mistakes, their mistakes in speaking are symptoms of an incurable sickness. That's what they believe. This is why they're afraid of speaking. And whenever they need to make a phone call, they ask someone else, "Can you please make a call for me? You know, I cannot speak." Of course you can. You have to make a choice to speak. Yeah, you don't speak well, but do your best. The more you speak, the better you're going to be speaking. The more you walk, the better you're going to be walking. You got to move the muscle. Do you understand? Hey, Dimitri, good to see you again. I haven't seen your questions, Dimitri. Guys, let me remind you, because I see new people, join my Telegram. I am planning to be very active in Telegram group. I already have about 20 people added to the group. So add yourself to my group. And of course, the name of the group, Live Stutter-Free. Hey, Dimitri. Yeah, good to see you. Live Stutter-Free. Anywhere I go, my groups have exactly the same name because I want you guys to finally live Stutter-Free. I want you to change the wrong mindset, the wrong belief that you have in your mind. Stuttering is a ghost. It doesn't exist. I want you to switch believing in stuttering to believing in speech mastery. Mastery, do you understand the word mastery? Speech mastery is the mastery of your tongue, the skill. You need to learn the skill to move your tongue to create ringtones. I talked about ringtones a little bit before, and I am planning to talk about the most important solution for all stutterers. I mean, not the most important, the only solution for all people who stutter. There is no other solution. You got to train your tongue to speak according to ringtones. Ringtones. If you're curious what ringtones are, go read it. Understand your best, do your best to understand. I have created yesterday and uploaded to Instagram, to Facebook, everywhere, what ringtone is. Because there is no other way you can speak without mistakes if you don't know how to create ringtones with the tongue. And by the way, this book, this is what my latest book. This book explains in detail what all people who stutter need to do to never stutter again. But I don't even recommend people buy and read this book if they have severe stuttering. I mean, any form of stuttering, okay? Because there is no guarantee you will understand it, okay? This book has been written mostly for speech professionals. I still have a dream that one day we're going to create the new profession. Forget about speech therapy. Forget about speech pathology. We will create this guide for Etalon speech educators. I want to create a new profession. Speech education, standard speech education, or Etalon speech education. Okay, yes, this book is sold as PDF for only $50 from the website. On Amazon, it's much more expensive. From my website, you can buy this book for only $50. If you believe you are smart, if you believe you're not lazy, who asked me this question? Coffee Finest. If you believe you're not uh, lazy, and if you're smart, buy the book and just go step by step. Because this book explains, look, with big pictures. I've invented, I am really good. I explain what tongue has to do with typing, how we type words in our speech sound keyboard. I explain, and by the way, here is the speech matrix, the tongue ringtones. All the tongue ringtones are listed here for you if you speak English language. This book, of course, is in Russian language, exists in Russian language, and it's also the way for you to learn how to move your tongue in ringtones. The book explains. This book goes step by step. See, I even explain what vowel sounds are. Look at this. I explain in detail what vowel sounds are. You gotta understand it, okay? It's just explanation in detail. Look, every line from the table is explained. What to do, how to do it. If you don't want to work, you're lazy. You don't want to work and earn money, come to me and learn this all in only 1 to 3 days. Then buy the book and invest your time, which is the most valuable thing we have, our time. Come, buy the book and do your best. I don't know. I have not had any reports from anyone because I published this book during COVID times and I never even advertised it. Never did. Because I don't believe that if you stutter, you can do it on your own. You need someone, for example, a speech professional may read the book, understand it, okay, or a teacher understand and help you implement. But maybe you are smart. I don't know. Because one thing for sure, people who stutter can work. This is 100%. I know. They can work. They can use other muscles of their body, not the tongue, other muscles of their body. They can get a job, non-speaking job. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I recommended to the gentleman by the last name King. Okay, he was earlier in this conversation. Okay, so I recommend download this book. It's free. Free. You don't need to pay. This book is free. Download. Hussein was asking me questions. Asking me questions, I was answering his questions. And guess what? Here is the book. Okay? Here is the book. You can read it. You can learn how he did. He chose to get a job, learn English language, and come to me and fix his speech in 3 days. This was his choice. But he was nothing. I mean, laziness was not his name. He wasn't lazy at all. He was a hard working man. And combination of his hard work and my directions made it work. Today, Hussein is a pretty successful man. I don't know, last thing I knew, he was working at the factory where he was making money to earn the money for the class. He is a manager at that. He had a manager position. Okay, but I don't know. I haven't talked to him for a long time. Usually people leave me. They don't need me. They don't need me anymore because they become their own trainer, their own coach. Do you sell your book in PDF? Oh, okay, I answered this question. Anyway, so join my Telegram, guys. Don't forget. And those of you who live in United States of America and Canada, join me tonight at 7 p.m. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. I'll take a nap in the middle of the day so I could be energetic and I could stay awaken. Lots of love to you. See you next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Bye-bye.